Wow, you guys. So today in Manhattan, we had some courtroom drama as Luigi Mangione pleads not guilty, not guilty, you guys, to murdering Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, in cold blood by shooting him in the back. He pleads not guilty, and his defense attorney blames Mayor Eric Adams for the whole thing, you guys. It's absolute mayhem. So Luigi Mangione, he's accused of the high-profile murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, as we all know, and he pleaded not guilty to, I think it was about 11 state charges. Don't quote me on that aspect, but it was quite a few charges, including first-degree murder and terrorism. So the case has already captured national attention due to its shocking allegations, but the courtroom fireworks today during his arraignment added a whole new level of drama, you guys. Mangione's defense attorney, Karen Agnifilo, the wife of Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, directed very sharp criticisms at New York City Mayor Eric Adams for what she characterized as inflammatory and prejudicial conduct on the part of Eric Adams, you guys. You cannot make this up. As Tisa Towles would say, you can't make it up, and she's right. So yeah, we had this whole perp walk that involved Mr. Mangione. It was a perp walk with a message, you guys. So Mayor Adams's involvement in the case has been very highly unusual, particularly for an elected official who is himself facing unrelated criminal charges. In a dramatic display, Mayor Adams, joined the helicopter that transported Mr. Mangione to the courthouse, and he personally participated in this perp walk, claiming to want to, quote, look Luigi in the eye and send a strong message that such acts of violence, how do you say this word? Violence will not be tolerated in New York. Mrs. Agnifilo was quick to condemn the mayor's actions, and she said, "This is not a spectacle, it's a trial," she declared outside the courtroom. "There is a presumption of innocence in our jurisprudence, not just in New York, but across the United States. I wish that Mr. Agnifilo had said that more forcefully for Diddy, because the same is true." And people who are totally throwing Diddy to the wolves and like completely disrespecting this principle of a presumption of innocence are supporting Mr. Mangione under this same concept of presumption of innocence. I don't want to call it hypocrisy, but it's hypocrisy, right? It is hypocrisy, and I find it's breathtaking. It takes my breath away. Okay. Now, the mayor's behavior, according to Ms. Agnifilo, the defense attorney for Mr. Mangione, was a blatant attempt to inflame the jury pool and prejudice Mr. Mangione before he's even had his day in court. I agree with her on that. I do agree, but especially given the fact that her law firm, along with her husband, represents another defendant who similarly has been prejudiced by the behavior, okay, it's not by the mayor, but by so many others, right, with influence in the society, creating this mob, justice or injustice, as the case may be, inflaming the jury pool, prejudicing Mr. Combs, and he didn't kill anybody, with all due respect. I mean, I understand that Mr. Mangione had his reasons, and that most people in society who support him are sympathetic to his reasons. And, look, insurance companies do a lot of bad things. People are suffering. It's not even just insurance companies. It's a lot of different people taking advantage of disadvantaged people in the society. And yes, it has to stop. But shooting somebody in the back is, I mean, imagine if 20 other people decided to do exactly what Mr. Mangione did. If Mr. Mangione is allowed to walk away from this without any accountability, any consequences, what message are you sending to others in society who also recognize how the disadvantaged in society are being taken advantage of, and they take it into their hands to blow somebody's head open, shoot somebody in the back, whatever? Why are they therefore wrong if we allow Mr. Mangione to take matters into his own hand in this manner? I mean, I'm just asking. I understand. He's a gorgeous man. I mean, look at him. Just look at him, right? He's gorgeous, right? And, I understand the appeal. I may even understand his reasoning, the manifesto, etc. But we are a rule of law driven society. We are a nation of laws, you guys. And we can't have people doing this kind of stuff. And we can't even have people condoning it because it's a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope, you guys. I'm just saying. Anyway. So the defense pushes back. So Agnifilo's critique of Mayor Adams highlights one of the key challenges in this case, I think, right? Which is ensuring an impartial trial amid intense media scrutiny and public outrage, at least in some corridors, because a lot of the public is not outraged. They are cheering the defendant on. The defense is expected to argue that the highly publicized nature of the arrest and Adams's direct involvement create an environment where finding unbiased jurors may become nearly impossible. Ditto for Diddy. Ditto for Diddy. And the same people who are agreeing with Ms. Agnifilo on this point are completely oblivious where Diddy is concerned, and Diddy didn't kill anybody. He didn't kill anybody, right? Legal experts have weighed in, noting that Agnifilo's strategy may include filing a motion for a change of venue, although I don't know where she's going to take this case, or requesting special jury instructions to mitigate potential prejudice, right? Quote, while high-profile cases often attract attention, it's rare for a sitting mayor to insert themselves so visibly into the process, end quote, said one legal analyst. Quote, the defense's criticism has merit, and it's possible this could backfire for the prosecution if the court agrees that Adams's conduct overstepped appropriate boundaries, end quote. I don't know what Mayor Adams was smoking that morning when he decided to do that perp walk. I mean, what was he smoking, honestly? Why would he have thought that that was an appropriate thing to do? So what does this all mean for the case? I don't really know, you guys. I'm not an expert on this, right? But I would guess, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that the mayor's involvement could complicate an already very complex case, right? Prosecutors are juggling evidence gathered from multiple jurisdictions, including Mangione's possession of a 3D printed firearm and a notebook allegedly outlining his grievances against the health insurance industry. The defense is likely to challenge the admissibility of this evidence while also leveraging the mayor's actions to argue that Mangione cannot receive a fair trial in New York. Then what are you going to do? Take him to Pennsylvania? I mean, it seems to me that the outcome is going to be roughly the same no matter where you take this case in the entire country. Right? So you might as well just leave it in New York. But I mean, maybe we can argue that the mayor's actions, this is what he did was just so inappropriate that I'm sitting here thinking to myself, maybe we have a situation where, sorry about that. Maybe we have a situation here where we actually have a mistrial on our hands. Is this a mistrial? Because This is the mayor of the city of New York. What was he thinking? Why did he insert himself into this process in this way? Especially considering the fact that he is also facing his own set of charges, unless it's coming from further higher up the chain, maybe people like Trump and Elon Musk. These types of people would absolutely not appreciate what this guy did, especially because Trump was, there was an assassination attempt on Trump in Pennsylvania during the presidential, campaign. So they're not going to be amused by this guy. And so they don't want copycats. And Mayor Adams probably wants to curry favor with Trump. This is just my theory. I don't know this to be a fact. I'm not saying that it is a fact. I'm saying I'm trying to understand his behavior. It's so extreme. It's so bizarre. Why would he do that, right? I mean, it's not only Mangione's fate that is at stake, it's also the public perception of the judicial process in such a politically charged environment, And, will the defense succeed in framing the mayor's actions as a breach of due process? Or will the prosecution's case, bolstered by forensic evidence and detailed planning, allegedly outlined in Mangione's own words, ultimately prevail? I mean, it's left to be seen, but it's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal in my view. What Mr. Adams did. Was he trying to destroy the case and get a mistrial? Maybe he's on the side of the defense. Even in terms of the charges, the terrorism charge is so extreme in this situation, with all due respect, that they know they can't win. It's like Kamala Harris running for president. You can't win, and you can't win, or you ought to know that you can't win. So why are you doing this, right? Is it a book deal? What's the motivation here? Like, why are they charging this guy with terrorism? They can't win that, right? Why is he, the mayor, doing this perp walk and saying these things? He knows better. So maybe he's on the side of the defense. They're trying to get this guy off. They're trying to get him off, but they're trying to do is like force a mistrial, clearly. But what would be in it for Adams? I don't know. I don't know. As this case moves forward, though, it promises to be one of the most closely watched trials in recent memory, I think. It's right up there with Diddy, if not surpasses Diddy at this point. Beyond the specific charges against Mangione, it raises larger questions about the intersection of politics, media, and justice. The defense's focus on Mayor Adams' involvement ensures that this trial will not only be about a single individual's alleged actions, but also about the integrity of the judicial system itself. And I say that with a straight face, the integrity of judicial system, because, we live in very interesting times. And what does that even mean? The integrity of the judicial system. I mean, justice, I think, by and large, is relative. It's a matter of who you are, how you look, where you come from, who you happen to be in front of, and what did they have for breakfast that morning. I mean, if you're going to sit there and suggest that some of these rulings from some of these judges, and this goes all the way up the chain of command, all the way to the Supreme Court, and I say this with all due respect, but some of these rulings, some of these decisions that have come down from these courts, from the top down, is so completely outlandish, so completely incomprehensible, that you can't really sit here and talk to me about the integrity of judicial system and have me, think, that's a thing. You know what I mean? I mean, there's integrity of the judicial system. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that even means. Anyway, that's all for this one, you guys. I will update you as I get updates. Thanks for listening. If you got to the end, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you like this content, support the channel, help the channel to grow, develop, get some love from the algorithms. Leave comments, give thumbs up, share the video, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I have new updates. Okay, see you. Bye.